Okay, so here's another party that I'm rather late to. Um, about a little over a month back, Danny Mata dropped a short film on YouTube called No Supers, and he sent me a message right around that time saying, "Hey, I just made this short film. Maybe that's something you would want to be interested in checking out, or no worries if not." Kind of like he was promoting it around, and I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, absolutely." I think I actually completely forgot to respond to him, but in my head, I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, absolutely, put that on my schedule." And then I looked at my schedule and it was like, nope, no, 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 nope, not then, not that time, nope, 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 no, 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 no. And it just sort of kept getting kicked down the road along with the many other things that I'm behind on. But at this point, it's been too long, and I want to fucking look at this thing because I was actually quite interested to watch it based on like I didn't really watch trailers or anything because I wanted to go into this clean. I did catch like a couple of clips of little bits of the beginning of it, and I am curious about this thing. I do want to watch it. I just haven't had time. So now it's pretty late in the evening. I'm gonna have to be maybe a little bit more quiet than usual because of we have neighbors, and finally I'm gonna have a chance to look at this thing. Now I'm an animation guy first and foremost. I'm not really a live action guy, by which I mean to say, not that I don't watch live action movies. But, like, I'm probably not going to have 500 million years of yappage to do about the animation techniques, because of there isn't any, probably. I mean, I don't know, actually. Maybe there is some animation. There's probably some CG if we're doing superpowers, but who knows? I'm not really a live-action guy, right? Like, I know some things about animation, not everything. I know some things, and about live action I know even less. So I don't know how much commentary I'm going to have to offer, but at the very least I want to see this damn thing finally. So let's check out Danny Mata's short film, No Supers.
Really, really good idea. Really good fucking idea. Let me take every single bit of cash I have and put it on you to win.
We have to put on a fucking show, Jabari. You got the underdog thing. Great. That's really, really good. You're fucking killing that. We gotta come up now. Nobody likes a dog that stays under. You fucking get me?
This was the only thing I was good at.
Tonight's top story, Latrell King lifting a car off of a woman.
Everybody crowning this guy, calling him the best athlete to ever live. And come to find out, he's been deceiving us.
King is now facing charges for unregistered superhuman
He
abilities.
can get away with it for 10 years. How do we know who's superhuman and who isn't?
I know people are upset, and they're showing us how upset they are.
Violent protests and civil unrest have followed the news of King's deceit as paranoia surrounding the presence of superhumans continues to rise.
Woody isn't even human.
The problem is that we can't test for this.
A dangerous rise in unregistered
Safety has to come before people's
before
comfort.
people's comfort. How do we know who's superhuman and who isn't? We need to treat every suspected super with
We need
as
to
much
treat every
caution
suspected
and
super
severity
with as much
as we
caution
treat
and severity as we treat confirmed supers.
Alright, that's a fucking title sequence. Okay. So, let's start with what I do know something about, character design. A protagonist here, don't know his name yet. The introduction to him is like cut, blood, sweat, clearly kind of fucked up in a corner, right? Like, it's a good introduction to him because he looks kind of, we have all these converging lines, right? Everything, all these lines in the image are leading our eyes to him, but he also looks a little bit small, sat there on this tiny little chair, right? This tiny little stool underneath the side of the ring, and then we have his manager, trainer, coach, whatever he is, sort of pacing around in front of him. It makes him look like this isn't like the powerful pose of the king in the corner. Like, it's not like, "Arr, I'm dominating the space, I'm owning it." This is someone who's not in control of where their life is right now, who's getting talked down to, basically. So that's a pretty good introduction to our underdog character. Going by the information we get in the montage, superhumans exist. They've been around. They have used their powers at times, in some high-profile cases, to cheat, right? Like to participate in sporting activities and get away with winning, even despite being superpowered, which clearly, number one, is not allowed, and number two, is considered deceitful and dishonest in a sort of X-Men kind of way, where if you have superpowers, well, you're not really human, are you? You're not really a person like the rest of us. And we're doing the classic X-Men thing where there's a culture of fear, right? There's a culture of bigotry. And, like, props to the set and props design here, I will say, because that's, like, a very nicely weathered bit of poster. And, like, I imagine this is some... Actually, I wonder about that, because there is movement in the frame, so... My initial thought that maybe this was a still image that had then been manipulated, and then in After Effects you take it in and you, like, add shake effects to it. But there is some movement in the image with, like, some light coming up from presumably a train that's coming by, so I guess it's just... I doubt that they went and did actual graffiti in the place to make all of this happen. Not impossible, surely, but... It's good set design. It's environmental storytelling, right? Like, it's like you playing a video game, you see this shit on the walls in the video game, you kind of go, okay, with like that, the theme is here. The theme is happening to us. Humans over heroes. Humans, yes. Supers, no. Right? And, like, we're hammering it home, but we need to hammer it home because we need to get across the severity of the paranoia that's present in society. Superman, like laser eyes. That's a good signifier. Both as a mark of disrespect, but also to dehumanize the man, right? Classically in character design, the eyes are the window to the soul, right? So when you have a character whose motives are obscured or whose intentions are unclear, one of the things you'll often do is hide the eyes because it sort of dehumanizes the character a little bit. So mark of disrespect to burn the eyes out of the person's face, and then to add the laser eyes on top of it to do the Superman illusion. That's clever. We're doing, like, a handheld, heavy film grain sort of thing. Like, there's definitely... I wonder... This is where I wish I knew more about actual film, right? Because here, in these shots, we're doing a sort of... almost like a Super 8 kind of camcorder-esque old sort of home movie camera, film camera thing. Like, it doesn't have the interlacing artifacts or anything like that, so it doesn't look like VHS necessarily, but it has that element to it, which is like a strong contrast with these bits, which are like, this is clearly filmed on modern equipment, right? Like, by the way, props to the people who did the lighting here. Like, there's a deep space, you've got lots of shadow, you've got these brilliant bright rim lights around the ring. Which, like, compare and contrast that with the way that some Netflix shows are lit nowadays, or just fucking some movies are lit. There's sort of, like, they don't really practice the art of the sort of striking movie lighting in the way that they used to. This is sort of Spielbergian, almost, actually, a little bit. It reminds me of, in some spaces, of the kind of lighting that you'd see... Well, I want to say in Indiana Jones, but I haven't watched those movies in ages. But rather, it reminds me of the lighting that you got in the Indiana Jones video game, that came out a couple of years back, where they also had, like, this style of very dramatic, bright rim lights, very colorful lighting. It's like, it's a far cry from the fucking permanent washed out look that you get from some of the digital film productions where everything's shot on blue screen and green screen, and they kind of wash out all the colors. This does a really good job of, like, making the characters stand out from the scene. But anyway, my point is, there's a contrast being evoked here between the sort of lo-fi, low-resolution camera shots, like these candid shots of the streets of, I don't know what city this is, some American city, versus the modern, brightly lit, sort of film-looking locations. You have, again, this handheld vibe with, like, lots of heavy film grain, or a sort of heavy grain effect. Not actual film grain, I imagine. I don't think they shot this on film. But, like, God damn it, little mouse, would you stop misbehaving. But like a film grain effect that again gives it that slightly lo-fi look, which combined with the handheld shake and all of that gives the sense of like, okay, this is someone who's filming it in the way they used to film old tagging videos. Sort of very 90s coded. The whole thing is kind of 90s coded, like the fucking flannel shirts and shit. And as far as I can tell, that's our boy Danny. Playing that kid who's about to get harassed, presumably for wearing the jersey of the team that had the superhero on it, or the super person on it. And then shit gets really real, right? Like, up until this point, it's been like, okay, some graffiti, some talking heads on the news, and some bullies, like, going after kids coming home from, like, high school or whatever. And then it's like a gun to the back of someone's head, and shit gets a little bit more real. That's sort of the moment where you realize, okay, this is not just whatever, this is fucking serious. Effective montage editing here, like cross-cutting between these things, creates a relation between them, right? The one thing is the same as the other thing, which, interpretively, this was the one thing I was good at. Essentially creates like a cross-connection between, like, the one thing is in relation to the other thing. The fighting, the training, the boxing, this is in relation to that, right? Like, this thing grows out of that thing. For a moment, I was like, hang on, no, those are the pylons of the bridge. But for a moment in my head was like, holy shit, is that the Twin Towers? Is this pre 9/11? Yeah, very effective montage. And then we have Mr. Manager Guy. And by the way, speaking of character design, like, that's a fucking character archetype right there. Like, you don't need to hear a word out of his mouth. You don't need to, like, not a thing that he says. You just kind of need to see this guy and you kind of get what his deal is, right? It's like, yeah, no, I like multiple layers of like colorful print shirts, that sleek back hair, the fact that he's fucking blonde. You kind of get the vibe of the guy, right? Effective character design, it communicates the character type immediately.
There you go. There you go. Jab and hook, baby. Come on. Jab and hook. There you go, Jabari. Come on, man. Move your feet. He's on the ropes. Bam! Jabari goes down. I said Jabari goes down. Come on, man.
So he's expected to take a fall.
You getting paid to lose?
Classic boxing story.
To lose, Jabari.
I'd rather get paid to win. They got me training to lose right now.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the point. I've been a loser my whole life. You never see anybody cut me a fucking check for it. Amani can't wait to see what you got tonight. So, what do you got?
Fuck off.
What do you got, man? Come on. Where are you, man? Where's your fucking
Dude,
head?
stop.
Stop? You want me to stop? Fucking hit him. Tell me what you got. Fucking hit him, Jabari. Come on, man.
Good punch. Classic cokehead bullshit. You get a sense of his character immediately, right? Like, not only that he's sort of a bit of a user, bit of an abuser, also that he clearly gets like a sort of visceral satisfaction out of controlling and humiliating Jabbar. right? That it's not necessarily about getting him to do what he wants. It's about getting him to do what he wants, and then also like fucking with him, right? Like there is no right answer with this guy. No matter what you do, he's gonna try and find a way to fuck with you, right? Because he gets off on it, and also he's like coked up, right? So all of his worst impulses get worse over the course of that. That's a recognizable kind of guy. Went to high school with a couple of that guy. Actor's doing a good job of selling him too. That little twist around and lean, right? It's that fake friendliness, right? He pretends to be your friend entirely as a means of trying to get under your skin. Yeah, you might not want to land that punch on the guy.
Since when could you do that?
Never.
You just get powers? Did you just get powers?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Let's fucking go! Oh my fucking god, dude! How easy was that?
Pretty easy.
No, how easy was that?
Pretty easy.
This is right. This was always gonna happen. This is right. I mean, we know exactly what we need to do. We know exactly what we need to do. What's up? Amani? What you want?
You took a dive in the second round.
Yes, sir.
Understood.
Yeah, understood.
Again, character type. Playing with colors there as well, right? That the sparring space, for the most part, is like yellow and warm. Right? We're under these like direct... What are they called when they're yellow? I mean, presumably they're all LEDs and like fluorescents, but they used to be a name for the lights when specifically when they have like that yellow, like heavy yellow tint. Can't remember it. Sulfur? No. Something like that. But like the training space itself, yellow, right? Like yellow, warm. But then outside of that, right? Like when we cut to the other angles, we go very blue, very cold. And when the boss walks in,
What we need.
right? Strong. Just the color contrast between the two shots couldn't be stronger. Essentially, it's like they're in two different worlds, right? This guy is hanging out like on the set of like a low-budget sci-fi movie, essentially, or a legal drama, like Severance or some shit. And everything here is sterile, everything here is cold, everything here is like straight, rigid lines. And then in the training space, everything is kind of dirty, everything's kind of fucked up, everything's kind of... But it's also warm, right? Like, it's also a lot more human. Whereas this guy's space is inhuman, right? Almost alien a little bit. Which, again, establishes something about, like, the world that he comes from. This is good set design. Like, I wonder, like, in terms of, like, scouting locations and shit, where they found this place. Because, like... That's a lot of very credible-looking, old, vintage images. Like, you got Muhammad Ali, you've got Mike Tyson back there, I think. Lots of like really vintage, classic, great boxers of history kind of vibe. And like the fucking switches box thing on the wall with the electricity, like this fucking ancient, weathered ass locker. This is like good set design, or at the very least, like very good location scouting if they found a place that looks like this. Like dingy, grungy, kind of fucked up. And again, there's a little complexity to it, to this guy's performance, right? He's doing a really good job of being a cokehead, right? Of being like that jitteriness, that nervousness, that inability to be at rest in any position, which again, higher contrast with Mr. Bossman over here, who barely moves a muscle if he doesn't have to, right? Which again, makes him come across like a statue, stiff, almost inhuman. Whereas the other two of them, like, whatever their faults, they are definitely human in their faults.
No, hold on. This is all, you're going about this all fucking wrong. We're fixing this whole thing fucking wrong. You know what? As a matter of fact, we don't gotta fix fucking anything. Dude, you're a fucking lock, Jabari.
I think I can do this fighting.
Your guy's gonna take a dive in the... Yo, fuck that guy! He's gonna be lucky if his boy's fucking walking by the second fucking round.
I'm not going out there.
Why would you say something like that?
Dude, I don't know how to control this. I could hurt this guy.
Oh, heavens fucking me. Somebody getting hurt in a fucking boxing ring. That's what it's for.
I can kill this guy.
Hit me.
No.
Hit me.
No.
Okay, you're done boxing then. You can never fucking fight again. Let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here right now.
Wait.
And that's where you get the emotional stakes, right? This was the one thing he was good at. Boxing. This was the thing, right? This is the thing that gave him a chance to do something, to prove something. He had, like, an identity, a place in the ring, and then these powers come in, and there's the paradox. On the one hand, they automatically make him the greatest boxer in the whole fucking world, right? Because he can punch through a sandbag. It's like, you don't want to go up against that in the ring. On the other hand, it also takes it away from him, because now, you know, you can't be a superpowered person and be in a boxing match with someone who doesn't have fucking superpowers, or at least the kind of super durability that you'd need to take the hit, right? That's unethical. So we have the Spider-Man schema, right? Like, great power, great responsibility. Of like, it's probably you really shouldn't go out there, should you? That would be a very bad idea to do that when you have these powers you can't control. You could kill that guy, you know that. But on the other hand, it's like, if I walk away from this, if I lose this part of myself, my identity, who I am, if I have to give that up due to this fucking thing that blasted me out of nowhere, I didn't ask for it, right? That, fuck, like, what am I going to do with my life then? And that's an interesting dilemma, right? That's not nothing. And I do like this flashback where we have him clearly up against a guy who's bigger than him, right? Clearly up against someone who's kind of seems like a weight class above him, and yet he's taking it, right? He's winning that fight, and that clearly is an important formative memory for him. Good stage punch, that, by the way. I did not catch the stage punch at all watching it the first time. If you watch it in slow motion, which, you know, is unfair to all kinds of stage combat, you can see that it's not actually connecting, but the actor's doing a good job selling it. Right? You can see it again here, that the punch does not connect whatsoever. But that's not supposed to. Like, you're not supposed to hit a guy for real when you're acting. You're supposed to do stage combat. And in motion, right, it works. You don't catch that at all. I'm pointing it out more as a thing to say, like, you can see the work that's going into it, right? Like, these actors are hitting their marks, and they are being very cautious of each other's safety while they're working, which is good. That's something you like to see. It means the stunt coordinator was on the ball, right? And also, like, the cinematographer, the camera person is also on the ball, because, like, they are part of selling the hit as well, right? It's not just, like, because if you just place the camera on a tripod you know, 9-10 feet away, and you just shoot it statically, the punches are not gonna, like, a stage punch is not gonna sell nearly as well. But if you, when the hit lands, you move the camera to follow the hit, almost so that the camera is like mirroring the impact. And you do these dramatic cuts on movement, right? Like he goes down, you can see lowers center of gravity, here comes the punch. Then the camera cuts on that movement without breaking the 180 rule, and then over, and then the camera, again, you can see how it follows the curve of the punch, and thus it emphasizes the strength of the hit that's being landed. Anime will do the same thing. Animation will do the exact same thing. And you can see it here again, like the camera following the punch helps to sell the power and the impact of it, and also the chaos of the fight. And that's like a good, like for a short film, this is a good central conflict, right? To have this character in conflict between their duty and their desires, right? Which also is the classic superhero conflict. Again, we associate it closely with Spider-Man, but like it's also the Batman thing, right? Like it's like heroes often have this thing of like, I have a principle, a code, I have a thing, like a central moral or ethical quality that I will not compromise on. And that's something that should be challenged, right? Like Spider-Man's great power, great responsibility is interesting when it gets challenged, right? Like when every single time he goes out as Spider-Man, it costs him something. It costs him his relationships, it costs him his academic career, it costs him his jobs. Like it always costs him something to go out as Spider-Man, but he does it anyway because he has to, right? Because that's the only way he can be himself. And so here, there's that struggle, right? If you go in the ring and you kill this guy, shit. But if you don't go in the ring and you lose that part of yourself forever, then what do? Right? Rock in a hard place. What does a hero do here? And I'm curious how that's going to resolve.
You good?
Nice cut.
You good? I'm good.
You good?
I'm good. I'm good. You got this. You got this. You get out there, you win this motherfucker. That's all there is. That's all there is.
Gonna be really fucking hard to win, right? Because now the thing is, does he want to win with his superpowers? Well, probably not, right? He doesn't want to win just because he has superpowers. He wants to win because he's a good boxer, right? Because he could do it on his own without the crutch. But if you're fighting the whole fight, having to hold back everything all the time and afraid to throw a punch, well, I'm not a boxing expert, but that seems like a bad mindset to start from. Very good.
Listen. 400, okay? 4 to 1. 200. Boogie's close enough. Just give me a second. Now or never. I got you. Everyone's going in like this. Everyone's going in. You're on one count. KOs. Count. Swear. $200. You can swear. 1,000. $2 grand back. I don't even know them. Fucking man. Come on. He's a giant. He's a fucking giant. The bird can kill a fucking whale if you want to. You see him punch the water, you make the water sizzle. All right, just take the
Lots of good character types in the audience there.
Touch gloves. Touch gloves.
Oh, he didn't even get to make the decision there. Again, the hesitation because he knows what the fuck the risks are. But, kid, you stepped in the ring. Now the train is rolling. Oh, good acting. Hey, do you think he's fighting scared, maybe? Do you think maybe he's fighting worried? Good acting from the actor. Also good camera work. The camera is keeping, like, lots of headroom, lots of space above him. He's crowded down, like, at the very... It makes him look really small here, right? The space looks bigger than him. Everything looks bigger than him. Whereas when we cut to this guy, he's taking up all the space, right? Like, he looks fucking huge in the ring. especially relative to like little dude, like just like cowering, like holy fucking shit, like can't throw a punch because like who the fuck knows what's gonna happen. Ooh, nice.
They're not buying it.
Kayfabe, huh? Oh, character types. Oh, good lighting here as well. Right, like we have the three dudes in front who are clearly like three old dudes you don't want to fuck with, or two old dudes and a middle-aged dude you don't want to fuck with. Then we have like these characters all like deep in shadow and like these dramatic lights. Again, good space in the thing. Like you have these layers to the scene, right? With the audience. And like we're working on a short film budget, right? Like there isn't money for like 500 extras to fill the staging, right? So you got to work with what you got. Running out the clock, are we? You can hear the clock, like tick, 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 tick. I mean, you gotta at least try and throw a punch. Good cinematography there. Again, that's being cornered, right? Like that, he owns none of the space whatsoever. He's given up the entire ring. He's given up all the space. He is cornered. He has no room to maneuver. So again, visually, the visual language is emphasizing his emotional state, which is, I can't throw a punch because I might kill him, but I can't not throw a punch because I need to sell this fight so that like all of that shit goes off. What the fuck do you do? Ooh. Oh, hang on. Nice. Oh, heavy on the stage blood. Damn. Sprite. There's a countdown happening all the time, right?
Make me look fucking ridiculous, man. Hey, Jabari, throw a punch, fucking cross, or a hook. I would settle for a jab, man, because we have to put on a fucking show, Jabari. You got the underdog thing down. That's so good, really.
And we return to where we
Nobody
started.
likes a dog that stays under. You fucking get me?
This was the only thing I was good at.
I really am so sorry you have to lose this match. Oh my fucking god, dude, you're about to lose a boxing match. Big fucking deal. I'm gonna lose my fucking leg. I was pretty good at it.
You just shut the fuck up!
Sometimes you gotta tell the cokehead in your life to shut the fuck up.
You need to hit him, or I am dead tonight, and you will never box again. That's it.
Ooh, with the glow, with the heavy. Oh, he's doing a good job selling the menace, too.
I got an idea.
Okay. Yeah, ideas are good. All right.
Good detail of, like, the little bit of the blood spray that's on him.
I need you to take a dive. How you doing, dude? I'm gonna give you a sign. I'm gonna give you a right hook. It's not even gonna hit you. Fuck off! Come on! Hit me, you fuck! Come on! do you got, man? Come on. You want me to stop? Fucking hit him.
Fucking hit him.
Ooh, boy. Good call on the silence. That's brave. I like that. Keeping it silent for this long. Oh, there goes the jaw. Okay, yeah, I figured that was about... Boy, howdy. Oh boy, we're staying on the screams, huh? Listen, someone should get him like a stretcher or something. Oh boy. Oh. Or turn him over on his side, because that sounds like a guy who's drowning. Ooh, grim. Again, great power, great responsibility. As an origin story for a hero, this would work. Especially for like a sort of underground, grungy kind of... Ah, man, shit. I'm kind of annoyed that it's... I kind of wanted to see the aftermath a little bit. I understand cutting it off. Like, I understand leaving that in the dark. Again, it's an extension of that choice about silence, right? Like, after it happens, we don't get to hear shit, right? We don't get to hear what anyone's saying. We don't get to hear what's happening. We don't get to hear what this guy's saying, what he's communicating. We can infer, right? We don't get to hear anything. We don't get any resolution on it. We don't get any catharsis. We just get... There's a man on the floor who's... There's a good chance he's gonna die. Because, like, getting your jaw punched off is the kind of thing... It's the kind of injury that tends to be... has a real risk of being fatal, right? And again, like, presumably with the budget they have available, couldn't do, like, a complex prosthetic of the guy, actually. And also, a guy with his jaw ripped off, maybe not the kind of thing you can show on YouTube. So this is a good compromise to get the point across without having to, you know. And I will say, as props go, that's a pretty good prop. Damn, those are some nicely sculpted teeth on there. Damn. Fucking hell. And yeah, like, it's definitely, like, short film. It's unresolved, right? Like, it's more of a question than a statement. It feels like a what if, right? Because my mind immediately, and I'll give Danny and his crew props for this, my mind immediately goes, okay, what happens next? Right? What happens next after this? Because I want to know what the fallout of that is. Again, like I said, this is a really good first half of an origin story for a superhero. How does he relate to that, right? This could be the origin story for a superhero. It could definitely be the origin story for a villain also. And again, the actor is doing a good job of selling it, right? That he does this, and then he's just kind of gone. Right? There's nobody's home after this, right? He throws the punch, right? Like, he has his worst nightmare happen to him, right? Like, his attempt to sort of sneak a way out of it. Talk to the guy, hey, you have to take a dive, I'm going to throw a cross, it's not even going to hit you, you have to go down, please, is not working. This guy's not letting up on him. Again, the possibility space is constrained. He's in a situation where, like, you have to hit him, or else, right? Or else this guy's going to be dead. You're probably not going to get out of that one unscathed either. What the fuck do you do? It's a no-win kind of situation. And I like that situation is... his choices get constrained. He keeps losing access to possible choices that he could make, but it emerges from one choice that he makes, right? He's the one who makes the decision to go in the ring, right? He had the chance to walk away. He said, no, I have to go in there, because I don't know who I am outside of this. And everything else flows from that choice, right? Like, he constrained his own choices first, and then the train was just rolling and there was no getting off of it. And then he gets into a situation where there are no good choices left, because it's throw a punch or see your friend get killed, right? Possibly kill a guy, or... I might have aimed for the shoulder, maybe? No, if you tear the guy's arm off at the shoulder, that's not necessarily any more survivable than the jaw, is it? There aren't any good targets. Kneecaps, maybe? I guess, like, you can kind of... Is it more survivable to have your leg broken off at the knee? Not a legal target in boxing, though. Because, like, anywhere in the gut, you're taking out a liver, you're taking out a kidney, you're taking out half the digestive system. Anywhere in the rib cage, you're crushing that thing completely, and everything inside of it gets mulched, so that's not an option either. It's like you'd have to either hit him on the elbow, the arm, and take that shit off, and then, like, you know, you might die of shock, but there's a chance of survival. But, oh boy, the jaw. Yeah, you know, I guess a headshot, huh? But as the film language makes very clear, right? It's this... He's basically pushed to a point of... barely being conscious, and the only voice he can hear saying anything is hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him, throw a punch, throw a punch, throw a punch, throw a punch, hit him, right? And I like that all of that flows from his choices. It's not a case of a guy got, like, it's not a case of he had no choice whatsoever, right? Like, there was no other option. No, there was. There was a lot of other options that he had. He had the option to walk away multiple times. He had the option to walk away. And he didn't take it, and now here are the consequences. I do want to know what happens next, though. Like, I really... I understand and I respect the choice to cut that off, to deny the audience closure and resolution, but I am sitting here like, I do want, like, the first 10, 15 seconds of whatever conversation they had when they were out of there. I do want 10, 15 seconds of our protagonist metabolizing what he's done, and some hint of how he's processing it. Right? Like, how he's responding to it. All we get is him shut down, which is a rational, reasonable response to possibly just killing a guy. I definitely have... like, that little... I'm hungry for knowledge about whether this leads him towards heroics or towards villainy. Ah, it's New York. Okay. Yeah, props to the fight choreographer. He did a good job selling this shit. And props to the camera operators and the cinematographer for, like, capturing that. Props to Danny, obviously, for directing the damn thing. And also, like, fucking good job on the lighting from everyone involved. Like, it's... There's some compelling frames. Like, this fucking edge lighting here off, like, the thing on the shoulder. The muscle. The thing that runs, that does the thing. Can't remember the name of it. That, like, there's some good fucking bright, powerful edge lighting moments. Right? This shot as well. Yeah, good job on the lighting. That's a compelling drama. That's a compelling, like, first half of, like, an opening episode of a miniseries or something. Crank. Very good. Yeah, this is pretty damn good, actually. If you're doing a second episode, Danny, let me know. Because, like, it definitely has the small independent short film vibe, right? I don't want to glaze it dishonestly in the sense of, like, wow, it's a cinematographical masterpiece. No, it looks cheap in many places because it was presumably made on the cheap, because that's the kind of budget that you're working with. But I don't really care so much about that. I care that I care that I can see the effort on display, which I can. Good work on the editors as well. Like, the energy and the pace. There is a moment or two where, like, there's a shot that's being held for, like, a few seconds too long, or a thing that we're sort of cutting back and forth on a couple too many times. I think especially of the, like, this scene here, right? Like, when he takes the first fall, the sense I get is that supposed to be he's staying down to run out the clock, right? Because he doesn't want to throw a punch. He doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to have to fight, right? So the sense I'm getting is that he's staying down to run out the clock, right? And we have this cut back and forth where he's looking at evil boss man, and, like, again, good job on the other boxer for, like, he's trying to keep the crowd going, right? And he's like, yeah, fucking and then we stay here, 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 and then finally, right, like, and the idea is he's running out the clock, I think. I don't know that it 100% comes across to me. It does feel a little bit like a guy who's just sort of laying on the floor pretending like he's exhausted. Which, if he was supposed to be really exhausted, I would expect, like, more sweat. I would expect more, like, bruises, maybe more limpness in his acting, something like that. But because we're sort of lingering on this moment so long, like, the pacing, occasionally there's little bits and hitches. Right? And like I said, you can tell that there isn't much of a crowd in there, because of course there isn't. Because, like, again, fucking extras are expensive. And it's also, like, coordinating extras. The other thing is, like, again, I don't know that much about film, but, like, the logistics of coordinating extras on a film set, right? Especially, even a small film set, the logistics of coordinating it, like, the responsibilities you have to extras on a film set, which is, like, you have to make sure there's water, you have to make sure there's food, you have to make sure, like, that they're well taken care of, and, like, that, depending on, like, the compensation, all that, like, there's a lot of logistics that go into that, and, like, the expenses of that should mount up really quickly. So it's not something I'm blaming the movie for, but it is one of those things where, like, I don't know the complexity of trying to add a crowd to a shot like this in post, right? I don't know the complexity of that on like a film set. It's the kind of thing that, like bigger TV shows do all the time, but they have movie studio budgets, right? And they have movie studio visual effects. It really is a thing, like, I think the drama here would have been sold better if there was, like, a crowd. Like, if there was actually, because then it's not just the pressure of the guy, like, his friend yelling in his ear, and, like, the money men staring him down and saying, like, if you don't fucking give us the outcome that we're looking for, someone's gonna fucking die. Then there's also the crowd, right? The crowd yelling, hit him, hit him, hit him, do it, boo, boo, right? If there's a crowd in there, I think that would amp up the emotional intensity and make the ending land harder, right? Like, that when he gets to this point of being barely present and barely conscious and the instincts take over, that it's not just a few people pushing him that far, it's the whole crowd. But again, that's the thing of, like, you're working on a short film budget, you're working on an indie budget, you're working with an indie production, like, unit. Not easy to wrangle, and adding a crowd in post is the sort of thing that is possible on a big production. I don't know how plausible or conceivable it is on a smaller production like this. yeah, this is interesting. Good character design along the thing. Like in character design, by that I mean hair, makeup, clothing, costuming, things like that. Good casting as well. Like the guy, like Crank, I think, is well cast. Again, like the hair, the fucking double layered floral print shirt thing, that does a good job of selling it. The actor does a good job of selling it, like with that fucking manic little fucking chihuahua on coke energy. Also, just good casting. Like that long face with the sharp jaw thing, like cheekbones out to here. Yeah, no, like good casting of that particular kind of guy. Yeah, I might also have wanted to see a little bit more of like the central conflict for Jabbar is boxing is what I'm good at. Boxing is my thing. This is what I do. If I don't have the ring, I have nothing. I might have liked to see a little bit more context on the emotional valence of that for him, like a little bit more of like what is it in his past that makes this so important to him, right? Like is the thing like he couldn't do well in school, he kind of dropped out? Is it a thing of this is the only thing that allows him to support his family, pay down a debt, right? Like, because he gets driven out there by this identity thing. Like, I can't not be in the ring. I can't not be fighting. And I want to see a little bit more about what's the internal, because like we get the implications, right? Like I caught all the implications. I wanted to sit with that a little bit more because like that's the key to the emotional drama, right? Like those are the feelings, the backdrop of what pushes him to make a bad decision and get in the ring when he really shouldn't have, right? I would have liked a little bit, like one more flashback, like a couple of more hints, tidbits of like the context for why can't you walk away, right? That would have been interesting. I think that would have added something. Yeah, it's not every frame of painting, but like there are some fucking good ones. And again, like the blocking is good. By which I don't mean the character blocking, but like the way that you like suss out in a given shot like what is taking up what area of space in the shot, right? Again, we want the feeling that he's being under pressure, he's losing space, he's losing options, he's pushed into a corner. Well, we give the vast majority of the screen to his opponent, right? We make him small and constrained and squashed, and we give all this big empty open space to his opponent, so like he feels trapped here. Those fundamentals are like on lock here. It feels like the work of people who know what the fuck they're doing and are doing everything they can with the budget they have available. Like, this is a good shot. I like this. Because again, they like when you think of, oh, we want this cool shot of like our hero getting beaten the fuck down, like really fucking being pressured. There, it does, like, again, and it could be a budgetary thing of like, we don't really want to, like, we want the guy to be wailing away at him, but we don't want to necessarily have to do a long coordination of like trying to figure out how do we coordinate this so we can look like he's getting hit without getting damaged. We want to give the actor some freedom to really just kind of swing for it. And then you create a shot like this where you don't show the action, right? And that's a choice that can be difficult to make, is the one to not show the action, not show the thing that's happening, but rely on implication. And I really like that shot. I really do. Like, that top down, that's a creatively interesting shot to me. And like again, the lighting people are doing a great job with like the shadows really adding to the texture of it all. I like that. Anyway, I've I could sit here like just looking for cool frames all day. Again, good use of the light. Like, we have this, there is a consistent color identity, right? Like the yellow light, the bright. Hi, baby. Hi. Apollo, what did you do? Apollo? I think he caught something. Brought it into my office. What is it? Where did you... What is it? Okay, I think he's caught a bug. Oh yeah, no, that's a centipede. All right. Let me see if I can't put that outside. Why did you... He does this. He doesn't catch mice. He doesn't catch birds. He doesn't catch anything. Because, like, he's not allowed to be... We have a little catio thing, so, like, he can't get on anything bigger. But occasionally he'll catch a fucking centipede, and he'll bring it inside to show me. Little asshole. Anyway, what was I talking about? Right, color identity. There is a good color identity happening here. Like, there's a consistent identification of the bosses, the money men, right? These people, cold, blue, like, just icy, right? Unpleasant. You get that sense. Whereas the ring, the fight, the boxing, warm, red, right? So there's a clear color communication there. It doesn't always, like, occasionally it runs the risk of making spaces seem completely separate, right? Like, that's what happens here, where I think it's being used intentionally, but this shot, reverse shot, it doesn't look like they are in the same location at all. Right? Which, again, I think it's part of the point, right? Like, that this guy lives in a world of steel, right? In a cold world of steel. No passion, no anything, just the money. And these guys live in the messy world of humans. But it is definitely a thing where it's hard visually to read the shot, reverse shot, as being two people in the same location, right? Which is where, like... Again, I'm thinking of it through the lens of animation, which, like, you can do shit in animation you can't do in live action. Which is where, like, I might have... I think the idea is that he's got yellow light shining on him, which is, like, the light that's coming from here, and that's sort of supposed to place him in the same space. I don't know that it 100% works. But yeah, I could sit here and nitpick and pick out cute details that I like all day. I still really fucking like this set. Like, whoever decorated this set did a fuck of a good job. I could do that all day, but oh, Jesus Christ, I've been going for almost an hour. Oh my god. Okay, that's probably enough, right? I may have yapped too much.